I think you were asking me why I think GitHub solves the problem that you were describing. Is that it?
Yeah, it's yeah,
Because
the information management problem of like, how do I keep track of stuff that I've cared about in the past that I may have forgotten about and resurface those at future times that are pertinent? There's a bunch of other related problems, but it's about organizing information for my own retrieval as well as for other people to see.
and you mentioned Malcolm's tweet about um, where he was saying, "I wish there was a way you can just see what people are." Did you put that anywhere here? So that
Let me screen cap it and paste it in. He said should be possible to make a UI that does this particular thing. Here's the
it's like Q&A, but AI answers view people so okay. Um, yeah, the part where he says like you keep updating your own updating me drop. Keep updating your entry until you solve the problem. Funnily, like Stack Overflow, like that to me is like a GitHub already. This is how I use GitHub, right? Where like it really is like a Twitter thread that you're like, hey, I have this project or problem or whatever it is that I'm working on, and then you're updating, you're putting tweets in as you make progress or as you make updates or as you learn things, and then the things that there's just a few more affordances that GitHub does, Twitter doesn't have, which are you can close it, you can mark it as resolved, and also you can edit the top post, a better description of the problem, and then
you
and then
use
label.
GitHub issues for this.
Yes, yes,
Yeah. I think yeah, I think that's a great way to do it because like you said the top post becomes the sort of most up-to-date reflection of the current state, but you can also see the lineage of
yes,
comments and changes that come
yes,
in over time.
yes, and I don't know. Mine's kind of messy because it's one of many kind of. I've noticed this that repos and things that where no one else is paying attention to, they tend to get messy because I just tend to, do whatever works for me.
Yeah.
Um, but actually, it was a good segue into the task at hand,
Yeah.
which is the in good faith. So I updated this README recently. So this is the GitHub repo for anatomy and argument.
Nice.
This is the sort of like one picture pitch.
So,
Uh,
in a few sentences, assuming somebody's actually going to watch this video has no idea what it is, how would you introduce anatomy at this point?
oh, yeah, this is good. So this is I think this is top left. It's an internet game where we change people's minds and we report back and write about it.
Mm,
So you can
perfect.
like read about yeah, that's it. That's it. So you can like read it. It's like, hey, you can read this book or read this like online series of like people on the internet who change their minds. Some of them are right wing, some are left wing, some of them are, wherever. And you can sort of play as well. You can, if you get your mind changed or someone change, or if you change someone else's mind, you can submit your story. So
Nice.
that's
And that
it's
kind of
my
leads
mom. Yeah.
into the question of like um, global leaderboards. It's like
Mm,
if it's a game, I should be able to tell like who's on
yeah.
top, like who's winning.
Yeah. Um, yeah, it's so actually this is beautiful because like this is okay, I want to tell you one of the things I'm excited about what the fuck's going on here? This is a metacognition ladder. Um I want to tell you something. I promise it's gonna all connect back. Um, but this essay, have you seen this?
No. Adam
Um,
Mastroianni? How do you say his last name?
you know what? I'm actually not sure. Um,
Amazing.
but sorry, I'm going to do a couple of tangents here, but they're all gonna connect. But let me before I dive into that, let me just tell you what I'm trying to tell you,
Sure.
which is um like who Adam is and why and his role in Ori. So it's the top level thing. And this specific essay, um, and how it connects to Ori mission slash the anatomy game. I mean, the punchline is in the essay he says this he kind of says the thing that I've been pushing for a long time, which is smart people need the dumb people. He says I think he says brainy folks and folksy folks. But it's actually very beautiful because he's saying, and this is actually very profound because he's sort of and he's not making any big crazy claims. He's sort of like inching towards it, but he says like, huh, all like successful religions seem to have this property where they can take a single truth at varying levels of detail. You can go as deep in it as you want, or you can dumb it down as much as needed, but it's still like lossless compression of truth. Is how I would phrase it. He may not necessarily phrase it that way.
Lossless implies that at the lower levels of compression, if you're sufficiently brainy, that you could re-derive the higher
Yes.
detail
Oh, yes.
information.
Yes.
And I guess you could make an argument that like the sort of no true religion fallacy of like, well, the reason that religion is being rejected by brainy people these days is because they failed the compression test.
Well, and this is why it's a bit of a red herring, I think, to
Yeah.
talk about religion. He even kind of skirts this. He's like, I don't want to say that politics is religion.
I would never say that. I would never make the claim that politics is a religion that is actively being practiced and there are churches on either side. I would never say that.
But um but this is actually like a successful ideology, a success like you should be able to like I think he actually says this pretty clearly, and I really like the way he writes because again his um and this kind of goes back to like his role in the network, which is he can speak to uh he's also like a real professor. Like I think he used to be, now he's an independent person, but he has this background, he has credentials, etc. So whenever he writes something that um is like the truth that I've been trying to explain or propagate, I can just use it, refer to it instead, and it speaks to the wider uh, audience.
It's cool. I like experimental psychologist. It sounds a little dangerous, but
Yeah,
it sounds like something you would say.
yeah. Um,
Like practicing psychologist.
but I think this is actually where does he make this? Um, yeah, he's like it's you're just as Christian. It's like like you can't be a rationalist, like in the less wrong rationalist,
Capital
sort of
R rationalist.
capital R rationalist, without sort of meeting a minimum bar.
Hmm.
Um, whereas more successful ideologies or slash religions have more of a ladder structure so that no matter where you are, there's a version of it that um, allows like you can still be compatible or function with the rest of the thing.
Makes sense. I feel like there's a fundamental tension or optimization of hierarchy in there, and it's like you want enough levels that people feel like they can fit in and advance, but you don't want so many levels that the distinctions become meaningless and people become demotivated.
I mean, yeah, the idea is you should have as many levels as needed to have full
One of the things
full.
that comes to mind is like the adaptability. It's like how many of these types of things are set and forget versus, what's the mechanism for change after it's already in place? Or are there mechanisms for change? Because if things are emergently defined, then change is kind of inherent in the structure. It kind of continuously evolves.
Second, one more. I've been reading the book you recommended, Order of Time, Carlo Rovelli, and
We should have an Ori book club.
I mean, in principle, it's like always, it's a constant,
Yeah.
should be a constant book club, and like, should write about what you're learning, and people can jump in or read along with you. Actually, did you see this? I was kind of proud of this tweet last night. I said epistemic influencer.
Yeah. I saw one on that. This might be a different one.
This one.
Yeah. Yeah.
But this is real. This is very real.
I
I don't know why
the
people.
39.3 is insane. I love that. I don't know what you did, but good job.
It's a real scissor statement. Real
Great
clean.
polling, buddy. Oh man.
I actually
Uh,
think it's an art
yeah.
to get things like this. Um,
It's like whole golf.
I
It's like
okay. Can we also pause the like the one? I like this because I can put like what seems bigger in my head, but survey art. I think
mm,
this is the next big thing for me.
yeah.
Um,
Survey. Wait. As soon as you said survey art, I thought of Ayla, and it's like survey art hose.
because actually I don't know. Has she always had survey artist
Oh,
on
did she
here?
put survey artist in there? Oh,
Yeah, it is.
cute.
I
I didn't
didn't.
even notice.
I think it wasn't always there. I think it's kind of a newer thing, but I think
Cool.
this is actually correct. Like
I like
this is the
sample size queen. That's cute. You get the innuendo, right?
yes, I
Okay.
get it. Um, no, it's great. This is actually really good bio. And also the server
Yeah.
had a good description of what she does because everyone's there's so many there's all this there's like it occupies such a weird space of like uh, it's people are like well our surveys are biased, they're not scientific
Hmm.
versus like yeah like what is the survey trying to do? But there's a category of surveys that influence the thing they're surveying, and instead of like that being a bug, that's
Survey
a feature.
performance art.
Oh yeah. yeah, that's actually that's very and it is like it's a hard thing to explain, but you get it. It really is like where art and science meet.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, there's like also there's a lot of people who will do like YouTube videos on the street and like ask people certain questions, and it's like I think they're doing more like just fun video stuff, but it's like you could catalog those responses and display the data, and it's like having the rich sort of first person interview experience alongside the larger data set. Like I think that's an underexplored, like imagine you're publishing your data, right? We did street interviews with 1,000 people in New York over the course of a couple days, and then you publish the data, but you also publish the clips. You can
mm-hmm,
imagine a scatter
mm-hmm,
plot where you hover over
mm-hmm,
one and it plays the
mm-hmm.
video.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
Okay, you're
yeah.
getting it. Yeah. So it's like we could be doing so many cool things in this world right now. We're bottlenecked only by the overwhelming pressure of the way it's been done.
This is actually, and this is why I'm like I feel like I'm making sort of some structural changes in RI, um, where like I've basically been spending like 90% of my time helping other projects because I feel like
Yeah.
they need me. But I actually think I could probably flip it. I should spend.
They should be helping you.
That's not what I meant. Well, no, I just actually think like most of the help is actual help is done in 10% of the time. Because
I do want
it's
to press on that point.
yeah.
It's like how much, because like a normal organization, right, hires people and largely tells them what to do or sets direction. And you're doing pretty much the exact opposite. You're bringing people in and you're letting them set the direction and you're helping them go in those directions. And I think that's good. I'm not saying change that around, but also like maybe you are. Are you putting any kind of thumb on the scale in terms of what people are doing or how they're showing up? I guess it does show up in that way, but it's more like subtle.
The hope is that like think of it this way. Instead of someone's trajectory looks like this, and then you hire them, and you tell them what to do, and you want them to go that way, and that's what they do. A lot of what I've been doing in ORE is, I guess, like finding people doing this. So
Yeah.
they're already doing this thing. And in some ways, this is like what analog did for me, and I sort of was responding to something else today about um actually this oh it's changed. We should have screen capped it while it's still.
Well, we have it in the video.
Oh yeah, there you go. Um I was saying that like guy was saying where'd he go? Um, yeah, it's like once you start making money from this thing that nourishes and does good things and it destroys it. And I was saying um I like Analog's funding model a lot because it doesn't destroy it. And the way it does that is because it gives you money for retroactive for what you've already done without expectation for future work. It
Yeah.
it just it just like attaches to it. I mean, I don't know if this is a hard sell. I don't know if I'm
No,
convincing.
no, it makes sense. I think it's kind of like uh what's the word? It's like betting on a winning horse. It's like, oh, that horse won. Let me just bet on it for
Right.
whatever the next
And
race
it, and I
is.
think I think it's still positive sum because
And then the horse decides to retire and have a family, and you're like, wait, what? Guess that's part of it.
yeah,
Even
the
even in
kick.
that case, it's like it still sends a good signal. Like the thing, and this goes back to you, is like you did something and they gave you money, right?
Yeah.
And yes, that's a direct investment and that means something specifically for you and your whatever. But like for the rest of us looking at you and what you're doing and
Yes.
looking at them spending that money, the story says like, hey, if you do something like this, it's totally possible that there are people that will
Yes.
throw money your way.
Yep. That's it. It's this because I
Which
actually
oh, the nail in that one is so you've got to articulate and advertise that the money has been distributed and why it's been distributed, and that goes for you too.
this is one of the posts I was like I should do this post. Did I show you? Ignore this. Where is it? This like where is the money?
Yeah,
This one. Where did the money? I want to do this on Substack. I actually think I need to, and I think I might just actually put it on the Ori website. Did you see this new website? This onboarding,
let's do
just
it again. Oh yeah, I think you showed this
in the call,
onboarding.
right?
Beautiful. What is real? What is true? Yeah, I haven't seen this. I'm gonna look forward to checking this out
But I think
afterwards.
because like you, I mean, you don't even necessarily need to like. It's like, what is Ori? Like this is Ori, and well, how do we know it's true? One of the things is like
What is Ori? You're in it
actually,
right now.
uh, this is actually surprisingly spicy. I didn't
Hmm.
expect people to have
Interesting.
like it's also weird because the Ori in the Discord is like, yep, this is all 100% correct. No, not
Mhm.
controversial. And the Ori on Twitter is like, this is problems here.
What's people's main complaints?
Oh, well, apparently everyone is these two things. People are like, we don't exist in the same reality, but I don't know what they
Mm,
mean by that. I genuinely
right.
don't know.
Yeah. Well, I can steel man the argument for why we don't. It's like our experience is fundamentally separate, but we exist in a shared substrate. I would argue that.
Right, which is why I'm like wondering like, is it just a wording thing? Because that doesn't sound like a real like conflict. I think that's just a
Yeah. You might run into some people who really distinctly think that our subjective experience is actually what's creating reality and it's in like a shared negotiation with other people's subjective experience
this is
and so
and
that
actually
there is not a substrate independent
that's
of
okay. I'm glad I mean that's actually one of the like uh
as people probably don't
that
believe in trees falling in forests.
that's actually the heart of it. And so but so far like everyone like Ori's actually taking an ideological stance on that side of it, which I
Sure.
don't know how I feel about,
So
but
you believe in reality? Are you serious? What
that's
the fuck?
and oh
This whole time? When did you start? I thought we were friends.
no, this is real. Honestly, I wish I'm really excited. Okay, I actually
Now you're
okay.
going to tell me that the earth exists.
Um, I think I said this thing because I'm feeling good because I feel like I have like 17 jobs and it's like too much and I'm like dying. I can't do it
Yeah.
all. But I really just have one job, and I think it's managing this community and reporting on it. Um, I don't carry it.
You're kind of the Ori evangelist.
It's honestly a good question of like what. what is my role in there, especially as Ori grows. Um, but yes, so I said this here because like how did Ori like because I didn't choose this. How did Ori end up with this belief? And I'm saying like the core Ori egregore. And it's because it was kind of like a gardening thing or like a farming thing, um, where the people who disagree were chased out. Like there's actually several of them.
I
One
want
of
to
them
see their
is
org.
yeah. Well, this is actually what I was like. I'm keeping track of them.
Yeah.
This is like do you know if you remember Toast, Ruben,
Yeah. I haven't heard from him
and
lately.
he's on a retreat or some kind. He'll be back.
Cool.
Uh, and also Mick. Um,
Yeah.
both of them, I think, are aligned on what, yeah, uh, it's like there is no like but you got to what you said, like the reality is negotiated, and so if somebody's running around saying there is a reality, it's like threatening to this view, so that they actually can't really coexist very easily.
Hard to tell what he's protecting there. It's like it feels like it's a pure argument in favor of pluralism of subjective experience or something.
It runs pretty deep, and again for both him and Ruben, and there was some discussion in the Ori Discord last night, uh, about this kind of.
I have an interesting one. This is something I dropped in the last couple days, but there was I had this. It's funny how I talk about like myself and my beliefs. There was a belief that I was so stupid.
Oh, you mean you dropped it
I was
like
holding on.
it's yeah, yeah. No, this is great. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I just don't care anymore. It was really painful actually. I'm just realizing like I've been depressed over the last like week. Part of it was like I was sick, but part of it was like I'm wrestling with existential stuff. But the belief was essentially that like everybody can be brought to cohere. I was actually talking with Benjamin about this before our call. Is like it was on this topic, and the thinking was, you know, I'm seeing people out there who I disagree with, who just if their worldview persists, it sort of conflicts with mine in a way that
Mhm.
we can't find a way to coexist meaningfully. And I had this sort of belief in a form of pluralism that's like, well, everybody's right, or everybody has the right to exist in their worldview. And like it was almost a faith in this idea that like eventually they would or could be resolved together.
I
Right?
mean,
It's like it's a resistance to invalidating anybody's worldview or judging anybody's worldview. And I fixed it yesterday by saying like, hey, you know what? Sometimes I'm going to be a cynical asshole, and that's okay. And now that I can be, like, I'm actually not, and I'm kind of disappointed in myself. Like, I told people, like, hey, I'm going to be posting some asshole takes, so feel free to unfollow. And like, I've actually been more supportive and encouraging, but also like having that gone, it's like I don't care, right? Like, I don't care if it goes one way or the other. If there's one view that unifies reality and anybody who disagrees with that is actually wrong, or if there's some kind of weird pluralistic, you know, universal harmony that could emerge if we only find the right path to it, I'm actually not concerned with either of those now, which is not something I could say like a month ago or, you know, maybe even a week ago.
but this is
That's what I
exciting. This
mean
is
when I say
also
it dropped.
David. This is like a
So it's like
model
I'll just
update.
be an asshole. Like I guess I was
But
protecting myself
I think
from
it's
being an
interesting
asshole.
that it's like you pre-grieve that you're like I'm allowed to be an asshole, but now that you are allowed, you don't even need to go there. I think
I
there's actually
want
something
to.
here
I
about.
just it's hard to muster now.
I think there's something here about resolving an anti-meme, as Michael would say. It's like I think like
Could be.
something will go inside of it. I don't know. Anyway, I you actually reminded me of something. I last night I almost changed my um bio. Right now just as Ori,
I love
but I
how
was
it
gonna
just says Ori. That's bold.
right. Oh yeah, it's there's a reason for that. Like
Do you have a link? Is there? Oh, so you have a link to your Substack. Okay.
yeah, which doesn't actually explain. I mean, actually, I could put Ori on here, but okay. Let me tell you. I do want to. Well, I think we'll do a work session eventually. But I
Yeah.
feel like this is very productive
I
for
was gonna
me.
say like five more minutes if we can. Let's see where we're at in 5 minutes and see if we can jump into a couple.
Um,
But keep going.
there,
If we
there's
just end up talking, we end up talking. It's fine.
there's an idea I wrote down last night where I said like, okay, imagine this. Imagine if, and this should feel cringe. If it doesn't feel cringe, just tell me.
Hmm.
Imagine if people start putting in their bios Ori L4, Ori L6. It's like level. And you're like, Ori, I don't know, unrated. It's like what level you're at. It could even be like it could be department here thing. I don't know. But I'm not sure yet. But the point is the this leveling. Okay, now let me tell you what I'm expecting you to be thinking now, or the audience, whatever. People should say, well, first of all, this seems weird to be like, oh, I'm above your level, you're under me. Like, what's your number? It's like a little bit of a um, hierarchical ranking thing. So it feels a little uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Um, but the other thing is that it's not moderated. So like, what stops some random guy from claiming to be Ori, level 9,000 or whatever the highest level is?
Yeah.
Hey, following so far, you
Well,
agree with these reactions?
yeah. Well, the thing that immediately comes to mind is that, like, one, if you implement this or if people start doing this, that there's complete upward and downward mobility. And two, there would be a reason to want to play on L1 versus
Mm-hmm.
L9000.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Like, hey, I'm burnt out thinking about all the world's problems. I'd like to zoom in on one small problem that I really enjoy. I'm going to go down to L2 and
Mm-hmm.
focus on, the logistics of that problem, or I'm going to go up to like L4 and focus on the uh, sort of cultural coordination aspects of that
Yep.
problem. And so
Yep.
the L in my mind would be kind of akin to what level of abstraction are you playing at
Yep.
versus, and it reminds me of the metacognition ladder. It's a different thing,
Yes.
I think,
Yes.
but
Yes.
like
No.
that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so yeah, somebody could set their level to 9,000 for a week and just be like, look, I'm going to be tweaking out, probably meditating a lot, thinking about, metaphysics and in terms that are so abstract and so far removed that it's actually not going to be directly useful to anybody. So I'm like, I'm going up there, like, having my spirit quest, my vision quest, and then I'm going to come back down and try to, integrate that in a meaningful way. So then it becomes like your level isn't a fixed thing. It's like where you're operating, or like what you're committing to focus your current focus and energy on.
I think this is actually the solution you said, which is the incentive to pick the right level is because these levels do something. It's actually sort of like what language you're speaking. Um, if you
Which if you're
should,
too far away from somebody else, you can't communicate with them
yes,
effectively.
action, yes. Um, And in
They
theory,
suggest instead of just a linear level, a coordinate system, a grid. Kidding. I'm kidding.
and we could go out, see, and that would actually be cute because then people are like,
We're going
wait,
to
is
define a hierarchy system in hyperbolic geometry.
because people are like, wait, is Ori
Just
five
move,
eight?
bro. Do you remember the saddle point?
No.
Let me see if I can find
Uh,
it. Saddle point move, where it's like just move, bro. There it is. No, we're just move around. This is dumb, but I love it. It's over here. This is Ori's leveling system.
I actually know because there's a real thing here
If
where
you're thinking in standard linear hierarchies, you're stuck. It's cute.
and this is why I keep thinking of like, okay, if you already want to start ranking people, I really want to make uh calls where we rank people and then we put up the
Oh, slime is one axis and time is the other axis.
no, no, this is, you know, slime mold,
Just
time mold.
mold, bro. Yeah.
You know what this is, right? Slime mold, time mold.
I've never met them. I haven't really interacted with them. I think I followed them at one point.
But they are a they're like they're in independent
They're an
researcher,
entity.
an anonymous independent researcher in the same caliber as Adam, and then they collab together a lot. Um, so here's a funny thing. Okay, so you have these people. I'm gonna
Yeah.
put Anthony Van Der Meude here too. And this the size is like audience size. Okay, I'm gonna put
Oh, is this a
Anthony.
high dimensional sphere where most of the
Well, you'll
volume is
see.
on the
Oh,
in a small crust?
uh, I see better. Most people don't know who this guy is, but he's the original founder of Ori.
I've seen him
No
a
one knows
million
him.
times. I know him, but I don't know him.
How do I put some example?
Apparently, he sees patterns.
He sees patterns, man. Okay.
Didn't he
Okay.
have weird? Okay.
Look at this ranking. So
Yeah.
I would say
Well,
this way is like uh, 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 um hard to explain, but sort of like metaphysical understanding of the theory of everything. It's I don't know if you don't understand what I mean by this,
it's
but there's like I actually put
I love
Michael
the
Mike
circle because you have room to define like what do
because
they
I'm gonna
have?
flip it.
Angle and magnitude. Oops.
Sorry, I was grabbing it while you were
So you can have. Let me see if I can draw this. I think
like
you can draw
because
this
I'm
one.
there's a way of flipping it.
Yeah, isn't that cute?
If you flip
So
it this way,
you have your radius and you have theta. I don't know how to draw theta with an ASCII keyboard. What is theta? See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying, man?
yes. Um, I don't
So
tell
it's
me if
like
this is the same
R would
point.
be metaphysical. Um, I would even say like metaphysical expansion or something, like cognitive expansion or perspectival.
Yeah, yeah, because I mean something very specific by it, and it's something about
Sure, we might be saying different things.
their ability to that I really don't have the language for this yet, but there's like a category of scientists who see there's like a new paradigm that work inside and all these different people are seeing it. But anyway, it doesn't matter. It's just it's there's some axis. There's some axis. The point is there's some
But
axis.
you're thinking of like XY coordinates.
Right. Well, I actually think like just think of it as linear. Just it's just top to bottom. This is the order along this measurement. So you're asking me who's the
Yeah, but
frontier? Well, here, hear me out. Hear me out. Just a little
okay.
here.
Sorry.
I just want to make 2 points. If you ask me frontier on topic X, I'll say this is the
Mhm.
order. And then if you then ask me about frontier in this other way, and then we go back down here, and then you can sort of rotate the circle, and then atom and slime mold time molder on top this way.
What's the other? It's psi. Okay.
You see it?
So you could have 3D coordinates. I'm just being silly. Okay, I'm done. I'll figure that one out later. So you said frontier on topic X, frontier. Yeah, so you're saying yeah, well I mean I think we're kind of saying the same thing, actually. Is like the
Uh,
further
uh,
out you are towards the edge of the bubble is the closer you are to the frontier. And your angle around the frontier is like your alignment with a different topic, which ultimately I would see as like a perspective or an orientation because once you get outside of the bubble, all topics are really talking about the same thing.
mhm.
But you can't do anything practical with that information. I don't know how much that resonates with what you're trying to draw.
I basically, yeah, I mean, I think the thing we're hovering around, and I think the thing that has a solution is there's a hierarchy that or I can define, and then people can see themselves in, and
Mhm.
that it can be done correctly. It can be high dimensional enough that it's honest, but also captures the.
The thing that this actually gets backwards is that people who are sufficiently on a frontier, like Michael Levin is a great example. It's like you could have, some guy way over here. Um, and in fact, we've seen, he's done interviews and conversations and stuff. And it's like they couldn't be further away from each other in terms of their topic. But the way that they talk about the frontier is like the further out you go, the more plastic your brain and your world model has to become. It's not necessarily true. It doesn't. You get a lot of crackpots who feel like they're pushing on the edge of the bubble, but a lot of these people and like Levin is. I just have so much respect for the guy. Like very much that picture in my mind of somebody who can translate across these distances. And so you could have somebody out here saying something about, you know, something that Levin doesn't have, like linguistics, for instance, right? Talking about memes and language, and Levin would be able to apply what he knows about intelligent systems to memetics and have a meaningful conversation with this guy totally across the sphere.
Well, but that see that's this is actually very important because I think there's two categories of scientists,
Mhm.
and Ori recognizes that, but most people still don't. So think of it this way. There's scientists who are on this frontier. You've seen this jagged frontier image
Hmm.
on my screen. Um,
Which is called psi cognitive plasticity.
are you still on
Yeah,
the
I'm looking.
whiteboard? Come over here.
Yeah, I'm looking. I'm looking.
Okay, so think about person on this
Yeah,
frontier. Let's say they're at one or they're at two.
yeah.
They're pretty deep in there. They're pushing the frontier. They're very smart, but they're also very narrow. Okay.
Hmm.
And then you have people who have seen the structure of, this is the part that's hard to explain, but I hope you get it, but if you don't, tell me, because then this will help me. Um, the reason Michael Levin is weird or interesting is because most of his peers are
He's in
frontiers.
one of these bulbous ones.
Where do you
Oh,
mean?
that's what you were about to say.
Yeah,
Most of his peers
like
have pointy brains, and he has a bulbous
yeah,
brain.
yeah, yeah. This is real.
I
This
don't know
is
whether he's done a ton of mushrooms or not, but I wouldn't be surprised.
this is actually what his bottleneck is. He's trying, and he keeps telling this in his at lectures where he's like, there's like a universal uh pat like science. He's like, well, you specialize, and then typically you realize that all these different phenomena. His example is magnetism and electricity. He's like, oh shit, we realized they're not. We had these pointy experts pushing them along, and he's like, oh shit, they're the same thing, and then the model is much simpler. And I tried to depict that like this, like you seen this?
Yeah, yeah.
This is like when you're
Well,
at, yeah, we
yeah.
talked about this.
I love this because it's like it kind of clicked for me. I know we talked about this, but like you made a post and it was like, oh, you're adding more data until you get to a place where you can intuit an underlying formula or structure for the phenomena.
And this can, I mean, they can actually be very formal and precise also, but I mean, you usually will see it first by intuition, um, for various reasons. But you can get to a point where it's very precise, it's formalized, which is what electricity and magnetism. Like at first, you start to see like, wait, there's some connection between these two things, but your formal, precise formulas only work here, only work there, and you realize, wait, there's some connection here, and your formula now works much simpler, works in all cases. Um, and now you have like greater predictive power with much less complexity. Just kind of this. Um, so basically when I do the ranking, like first of all, entrance into Ori is you have to have seen this circular structure.
Not gonna-
And
Conceptually, like you have to have seen it in your mind's eye or
not
the
just
actual
that.
diagram.
No, no, I mean, you have to understand, yeah, you have to understand it.
Okay.
And I can tell who understands it. You can't fake this.
All right.
And the ranking system that I have is who's who's further along. Because that's like the yellow here could be me, and the red here is I see pattern or Sansukwe. And we can tell why because he can give me A's,
Right.
but I can't give him A's. His model is bigger than mine. and me hanging out with him or learning from him can expand my model in the same direction. His is I could surpass his. Um, Wait, where are you going? You drawing something? You're down here.
I just discovered the word bulbosity and I absolutely love it.
Reminds me of Bulbasaur, Pokemon.
Well, bulb, right? Like
Yeah, yeah, I know. Um, but
Kiki
this
or
is very
bulba.
important. Like the in order to even be on this ranking system at all, um, there's a floor here, which is why I put. I mean, if you see the Ori website, the onboarding thing, it's uh the shape of the frontier is one of the proposed things I want to put on there because yeah, I think everyone in Ori um because it's just it's basically like science is stuck. Like if you see all the disciplines as separate, then you're missing something. You don't understand how knowledge works. It's like kind of a it's a B floor for Ori.
That's interesting because that's one of I guess this ties us back into the onboarding thing, right?
Yeah,
Is like this is one of the core Ori claims
right.
is that this is the shape of universal knowledge, or at least of
Yes.
cognition that's accessible to humans, is that it works in this way. Kiki and Bulba. And I'm gonna start saying Bulba. Can't help it now.
But yeah, I think you can't contribute which is why I still feel like the logo being a circle is because like if you do science in a spiky way, Ori's not for you. Ori
It's a
can use
ring.
your
The logo is
yeah,
not, it's a frontier.
yeah. And if you're not working to expand your frontier in this universal way, and
Right.
then again, Ori doesn't make sense. But it works the other direction. This is the fun part. Like Ori can use your work, but you can't use Ori's. Because anything that spikes, okay, isn't that fun? Anything that's any spiky pushing a frontier fits somewhere on the circle. The circle doesn't fit inside of your spiky frontier. I mean, there's a section where it overlaps.
Right. Makes sense.
And do you see where like B floor comes in? Because then like you're like if you take the spiky guy
Yeah.
on his own, he looks like his here's his B floor, and then he's going far, but he can't get any further. He's stuck here.
Mhm.
And then you know what happens? The Ori people come in, and they're let's the floor is even like lower, let's say.
I'm thinking, what is the tower where you keep going? Sorry.
But there's one of two things. Like either the Ori people like are here and they're like, well, that's below what I already know, or they're like here and they're like, that's not useful. He right? He's like, what the hell? This is stupid. But then eventually, you know what they do? They do this. They're much further ahead, and they sort of made this leap. And the people now the Ori people, which are like random researchers or whatever, are over here, and they're trying to communicate down now. Like this guy's a credentialed, famous. This is why it's everything's so fucked. Honestly, I get mad when I think about this because it's very political. The person at the tip of the red triangle is the credentialed, famous scientist. The person at the tip of the yellow is this like new universal, new paradigm person, and he's actually ahead, but that guy doesn't recognize him ahead. And he's like, well, solve the and you know what he says? The red guy is like, well, if you're so smart, show me this. Show me the answer to this thing. And they're like, there's no you're like you're asking the wrong question, or like you're actually no, maybe you're like here, you're like going you're actually off in somewhere where there's a dead end here. Uh And like, I think technically the yellow actually can show this. It's just the yellow needs to go much further before that becomes like obvious. Like once it goes here. Sorry, I'm intruding down there. Um, so
Hmm.
yeah, the shape of how knowledge grows is it is a kind of a pyramid on a circle, and the pyramids on the circle pull the circle up, but you have to see the new circle, the expanded circle. Where are you at?
Looking up the satellite view of the Egyptian pyramids.
Mhm.
I'm just like, well, those are pyramids on the surface of a sphere. That's kind of cool. Um, yeah. Hey,
Well,
feeling you
zooming
want to
out.
do any AIA? You want to save that for another time? I
Yeah,
want
can we at least talk about what we should do?
to. We could
Uh,
do a couple of light light
because I was
skirmishes.
gonna, yeah, because I was gonna show you that like, okay, the README's up to date. It has this like simple explanation that I can tell my mom or anyone.
Well, you should tell her and
And
tell us what she tells you.
all right.
Does she give you bees back?
And it has a link to the Love Symposium talk and the slides and the first Substack essay. So this is like the entry point that we currently have is the best one we have.
Yep,
And then the like running GitHub issues. A lot of these are I actually might just close out and restart clean.
sure.
Because for example, like you know how I was putting case studies here,
Right.
but it's too much friction, I think. I'm not going to go to GitHub for every like thing I want to drop.
Mm. Well, how do you want to collect?
Well, as we have been doing, which is
In a good faith chat.
yes, which is really nice, right? Because I'm scrolling and I'm like, oh, this would be a good one. Instead of bookmarking it, I just drop it.
I mean, I kind of like it and I kind of don't,
You don't
because it's
like it?
like it's great for that ergonomic reason. It's bad because it's like now you've got to go through and scroll through those and you don't have a way
Well,
to.
but a lot of them don't make it. Like these are, I guess, candidates. Like if you're serious about you're gonna do it, then you open a GitHub issue. Maybe. Well, let's just think about where it goes from there
I
because yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to force you to use issues, but I like if somebody opens an issue and you're like, we're not going to do this one, you can comment on it and close
And
it,
just close
and you
it.
can
No,
see
I
why
know.
it was closed as won't fix or whatever. And people are
Because
like,
I'm,
this
I'm
sucks. I'm going to start my own anatomy of an internet
yeah, you
argument.
should fork it.
Great.
I guess I'm thinking like we basically pick one a week. I think that's all we need to do. Pick one a week, write it. Um, and so how do we pick the one a week? And it would be like, well, as you see stuff, like I'll put stuff in there, and then the best one I'll take, and
You want to try to run through that right now? Like
best one here, yeah.
pit bulls. So what do we have from the last round? You've been sharing some. So we
Oh,
got
this one was deleted.
see
It's so
that's the
ephemeral, yeah.
problem. You got to screenshot these
You
babies.
gotta screenshot them,
His guilt is not in question.
yeah.
Non-retarded thing.
Are you still reading the Pitbull?
I don't. No, you clicked through. I don't know which one you clicked.
Yeah, yeah. See, I don't know because I don't know. We can't analyze this because
Oh, the
it's not.
impossible trap. Oh, I remember reading this. It kills me. Yeah, so somebody was like, "Yeah, we should do the obvious thing here,"
Yeah.
and Wayne was trying to say like, "Oh, I think he was trying to say, should we, lynch the guy or whatever?" And it's
Hmm.
like, "No, we need to prosecute and kill him." But like, there was enough ambiguity that Wayne had a legitimate gripe in my mind about how it was presented. I'm sympathetic.
I
Kind of
think that
sad
was,
that post was
yeah,
deleted. Yeah, let's have a policy like for
screenshot.
posterity. I don't know. Like, what do you think? Do you think if somebody deletes their tweet, I feel like that should, like, deletes their tweet or makes their account private. Like,
I
we
have a
should
policy
respect
for
that.
this. Yeah, well, my
What
policy
do you
is,
think?
I mean, my policy actually in general is like anonymize
Yeah.
because the point again, the point is I'm almost never picking on an individual human being.
Yeah.
That one of the principles. It's not obvious to the bottom of the ladder, the big floor here, but
Oh,
we're never ever ever actually talking about individual human people. We're talking about these like egregores
right.
because because if I'm talking about a specific person, it doesn't help.
Yeah.
The project is not useful.
It needs to
It
be able to
it
scale.
the reason analyzing it is interesting is because we recognize a pattern that applies to everyone like this.
Right.
Um, so it's like you happen to be an instantiation of that pattern, um, and it's a concrete case for us to work with. But it's not
Kind of
about
cool
you.
when you think about it, right? Like we're studying these sort of abstract patterns. It's like human beings are literally, whether they intend to or not, channeling these, right? Like you could
Yeah,
point that at
man.
me right now and be like, "Oh, this is what you're doing." I'm like, "Whoa, whoa, crazy!" Like, who wouldn't want to see these patterns as long as they're not like immediately demonized and targeted at the
See,
person?
this is why I feel so confident about this project. The AOIA,
Yo, yo.
I
Yo,
think
yeah.
anatomy is what we're gonna be calling it
Yeah.
probably. The anatomy game fulfills this beautiful ladder structure. Like it has something for everyone. For the normie floor for my mom, it's like stories around people changing their mind and learning stuff about people. That's great. You can go extremely deep here because it's
It's
about
like bedtime
um,
stories. It's like, tell me a
yeah.
good story about two people resolving their differences. You're like, I'm going to tell you about the
That
bird and the caterpillar,
that's what I said. Like even if you
the
don't
apple
understand,
and the.
like you actually still get the right. Like there's a thing where like in science people are like we don't want to explain it to people because if we give them too many details, then they get confused and they get the wrong conclusion. If you tell people like, well, vaccines sometimes do something bad, they're like, now they get the wrong conclusion. And so like we got to give them, we can't tell them the truth. Um, Now this is the ladder structure. If you do it right, means that at whatever level you explain it, it's the right conclusion. That's actually the point.
And,
So here,
and if you extrapolate it, it doesn't extrapolate into a wrong
that's
conclusion.
it.
That's
Yes.
doubly hard. It's easy
Which,
to
but again,
create a ladder
right.
where every rung is true, but the in between wouldn't be, right?
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
like if you're at
No,
this level.
and I think this actually like takes sort of eternal maintenance of like keeping it flow because it's something that flows actually.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I think this project actually is structured this way, which I think is why I was like instead of spending most of the time helping others, I think I should like I don't know a project getting successful in Ori is does help everyone else. I should have a
Yeah.
project and I can help others.
Well, I mean, I
It,
think we saw at the talk, it's like people are really interested in this. They're motivated. They get it. It definitely draws good attention. So, yes, I would always encourage you to move this forward. My only concern with all of these things is avoiding burnout for you, right? It's like,
that's why I'm like, but I feel like we have a trick here, which is one one essay a week until we
that's
finish it,
sustainable. Yeah.
and it's like a blog, so it's like whatever we do, we write about, and
But
so it could be
we have a hack, which is we can work it out in band like this, and then you have a transcript that you can draw from where you've already expressed a lot of your thoughts and
yeah,
things on it.
yeah, and I mean honestly, we could be like just actually like doing it, hitting it in here, like let's just do one kind of to wrap up here to kind of practice how it would happen
Sure.
because so actually let me think.
Every once in a while, I give a random person like you. Is that the one that has the deleted?
No, but this one is easy. Um,
Oh yeah, this is an interesting one actually.
I like wanted to. log this as like this is the kind of person that anatomy is written for
Yeah, absolutely.
because he's genuinely trying, but he's failing, and I can see why he's failing. And all I have to do is tell him like, "Hey, here's the technique." I will give him the book for free. Be like, "Try it, put back." Or like here's or actually even more specifically, I'd be like, you said this, you should have said this, try that and tell me how it works. And I think he will try it because he's already doing this. He keeps trying and failing. Um,
Let's see what
okay, so
the argument is about.
yeah, what was the failure here? I mean, he's like, what are we talking about? So we start with uh, people um, are dumb because they resist progress. That's what Richard's point is.
Disgustingly stupid. That's strong words, young man.
Yeah, but that's it. That's how I'd summarize it. He's like, uh, progress is good. People always reject it. Therefore, people are stupid.
Yeah. Yeah, well, there's a shame element to that. It's like it's just like he's bringing in the like you're gross. You should be ashamed of yourself. Clean yourself up, you
Right. So
dummy.
that's the opening
Yeah.
move. Um, and now Logan comes. What does he say? He says, um, yeah, he's agreeing. He's like,
Yeah.
um, we when people say no to progress, don't trust them, override them, full speed ahead. We got to do what's best for the future and for them. Um, so he's agreed. Okay, so we have two people on this side. Okay, now Mr. Gus.
Oh, you're muted. You think it clicked off?
Sometimes it does this just
Yeah,
automatically.
that's weird.
Um, Mr. Gunn comes and is arguing against it.
Hmm.
Um, he's like, okay, there's no way you think all progress unquestionably is good. Here's a counterexample.
Yeah. Obviously, nuclear weapons are bad. There are some things that we shouldn't have developed.
And and Mr. Then the argument ends here because Mr. Gunn gives up after this.
Yeah. Well, Logan engages with that, right? And his argument is there is no separating the two, right? Like progress and the
So
cost of progress come hand in hand.
but you see, actually, I can actually tell you why this doesn't make sense to Mr. Gunn.
Sure.
And then this is honestly why. Are you watching my screen or are you watching the?
Watching the screen.
We need. I don't know if we'll develop a better workflow to annotate this stuff, but this might be just good for now. But I need to be able to, because I really think one of my superpowers is that I'm a little dumb. I
Yeah.
can't think
Well, you're
very
dumb in an
fast.
interesting way.
Yeah, I'm dumb and
It's like
that maybe
it's
that.
not that you're not thinking, it's that you're doing a lot of parallel processing while you're thinking, which slows down your main train of thought.
Yes. I'm dumb in interesting ways, like the
I've
most
gotten used
beautiful.
to the way that your brain moves. It's like, yes, you're
I
very slow at times, but I recognize that other things are happening.
This is honestly, I feel loved right now. This is love. This is to be seen for what your brain does is can't ask for anything more. Let's do it this way. Humans are dumb because well, like people are against progress that is good for them. Therefore, people are dumb.
Dumb in a gross way, yeah.
I mean, we can put. See, this is the fun part, like translating. The translation is so fun. Like you just throw up. You're like, oh, people are dumb. Um,
Dumb. It makes me sick.
and,
Ugh.
uh,
I'm gonna barf.
and Logan basically says yes.
Yeah. I would say Logan's response does not carry the sort of
Okay.
shaming connotation at all. It's just like, yes, this is what do you say?
Accurate.
He makes a subtle extension. I don't think that's important to this argument, but he's saying people need to be able to experiment without permission, right? And I don't think that really comes into this at all. But I think if
It's
I was
interesting.
responding to him, I would jump on that and say, in what cases have people experimented without permission, and how has that actually worked out? Because it's like, well, they're doing things that don't impact other people, right? Like the salient part of this argument, and I'm going off track right now, but Waymo is not just experimenting with things in their backyards; they're doing it on the streets of San Francisco. They're literally affecting other people's lives. And yes, even if the ultimate outcome is good, we have to innovate in a way that doesn't disrupt people's lives too quickly at too much scale, right? So that's the underlying tension here that Richard and Logan don't seem to really care about. And that's what I would, if I was wading into this argument, I would be jumping on that. I just don't care enough.
Let's make it this way. Would you
I
agree?
would say some progress is bad. Some things should not be developed.
Well, I mean, so, but yeah, I mean, I think it does reduce to this. He says sometimes, sometimes or some progress is bad,
Yeah.
and Logan says no, progress is good. Um,
I
but
yeah, I disagree about that read. I think Logan's saying you can't have good progress without
well,
bad
but
progress.
see that this is actually the crux of it. So what it from,
Yeah.
but that okay, hold on. That's
Yeah.
what Logan thinks Gunn is saying. Logan thinks Gunn is saying sometimes we should stop progress. Like I'll basically tell you like the solution here, which is if Mr. Gunn said, why can't we? It's like if you had a way to have all those benefits of progress without any of the specific bad things, would you do it? And I think Logan would say, "Oh yeah,
Okay. And when we say specific bad things, we're talking about nuclear stockpiles that countries have pointed at each other.
yes,
Yeah. I
yeah."
think I think
Like,
Logan would blow right past that and say that's not realistic.
no. I think actually, I think Logan would. Okay, though. I think the reason Logan would uh, be happy with this is because um, and Logan even said this. He's like, well, sometimes progress produces bad things, but then we don't go backward, we go forward, and then we
Right.
fix the bad things.
We try,
So
yeah.
he, like Logan is like,
We've,
we're
we
supposed to move
we had
forward.
to create this global interdependent world order to fix the bad thing of mutually assured destruction, which is a fucking mess.
Because it's like, because Logan would say, and the reason Logan would be frustrated here is because he would say like, there's no other option. Like, what are you gonna do? You're just gonna like
Right.
stick to your horses and your little mud houses. Like, you can't like if progress comes with like, it's almost like it's like Logan would say. Logan's never gonna budge from this because he's like, it's like arguing with someone who says don't do science because sometimes we discover things that are bad, and he's like, you can't know before you discover it, so you have to keep doing science. And if you discover something bad, well,
Right.
keep going so that you figure out how to deal with it.
Yeah, yeah. I think you've boiled down the two perspectives. That one is like, no, there's got to be a way to do only good science, and the other's like, there's no such thing as good or bad science. There's good or bad, uses of science, but at the end of the day, we don't even know what those uses are until somebody tries to do them.
Right. So this is I think like our theory here and why like gun
So
gun
I'm
things.
curious if sorry, if you were gone and replacing that last one, what would you do to go for the handshake?
That's actually it. So like this case, the highest standard of the case studies I want to publish is the following, where we figure out each frame, and we have a theory, and then we test it.
Right.
If we can test it and get that handshake,
So you
then
actually go in there and reply
yes,
to the dude and
I
see
want
what
I want to do
happens.
that. Yeah. So here, I think what you would do, because actually that's the fun part of it. Is like otherwise it's just kind of theoretical. The fun part is like getting the feedback. What you would say is, because actually you see how he makes that argument. He says stalled.
Yeah.
He's not saying like what okay what I would have said if I
Well,
was
that
gun.
that clearly says he thinks nuclear physics is a package deal. That if you do nuclear physics, you get nukes
Well,
and
but that's what I would
semiconductors, computers, lasers, and fiber optics.
that's what I would this is what I would say. It's um, if if it was inevitable that we had to go through the nuclear danger, like I'm with you if we had to go through that before getting to the useful stuff. If we if it was developed earlier or later such that we skipped that dangerous period. Because it's like not every technology um, puts society in danger.
Thinking about nukes, or are you thinking about different technology?
I'm thinking in general. Like it's basically an argument of like, is it inevitable? Like, is the history played out the way that it did? Um,
So you're thinking of alternate histories. What would it take? So like the
like,
problem
well,
with nukes is like if they get developed, they're going to get used, right? And it's a collective action problem because it's like if we don't do it, others are going to do it. Like I don't see an argument that's like, well, if we didn't pursue nuclear physics, then we wouldn't have nukes. And it's like, yeah, and the Russians would.
right.
Maybe I don't know enough history to know how it would have played out.
Yeah, I mean the game theory of that is specific.
I I wonder if it's worth it to concede the point to Logan and say nukes are a special case
Right, right.
because like there's no way to constrain that on a local scale that doesn't disadvantage us on a global scale. Waymo is slightly different.
Yeah, or even I would
It's
say like medical things, like because we have sort of processes now of like how to test, like medical doctors don't test. You should do this like ethics review. You're not allowed to just take a bunch of people off the street and give them drugs and see what happens to them. We used to have that, and that made progress, but then we were like, wait, that's too much bad. Let's have progress without the bad. And we all were like, yeah, we can do that. That's great. In fact, it's actually better because then
so
you can
that
go
would that
faster.
would be a really interesting redirect right here. If you're to say, look, I don't think I can argue with you on the nuke thing. I can't see that playing out a different way, but here's an example I do feel comfortable with. What do you think about this?
Right. And I think the
Like
conceding
this
thing, yeah.
this is one where we have really slowed down the rate of progress. Are you okay with what we did there? or do you think we went too far? Like now you're just trying to get a read on the guy. I don't know if that's
I
enough of a handshake though.
well, I think conceding the point, it sort of tells each other that like I'm not. If you say something that's like, because to Logan this is like clearly true. Like this is not a good example, and if Gunn says like, okay, you're right, it's not a good example. We have some shared ground, um, and I do
Yeah.
really
Like
think
like
the
if I
yeah.
was Gunn in this case, I'd be like, "Look, I'd love to live in a world without nukes." And you've got a really great point. I don't see a way that we could, but I hope that you would agree that if there was a way,
Right.
that we would both meet there. And then
And
Logan would be like, "Yeah, but it's not. So why are we saying this?"
yeah, I think this is it because Logan, yeah, I think Logan would say yes, of course, but I'm being realistic. I'm practical. How do you get like if my because it's a very simple question
Yeah.
for Logan. If you choose between no progress and progress that has some bad things, pick
Yeah.
progress.
Right.
Easy. And we say, yeah, we're actually I agree with you. And Logan's gonna be like, what? You agree with me? Then what the fuck are you saying? It'd be like, well, I think you can look at you can have progress without the bad stuff. It's just so simple. It's like there's no reason why this argument should end here. It's like we can have
Yeah.
progress without the bad thing.
And I think here's the crazy part. The way that you get to progress without the bad stuff is just as circumstantial as the progress itself, right? You were saying
Mm-hmm.
earlier you don't really know what's real or like what science truth you're going to uncover before you uncover it and what the
Mm-hmm.
implications are. What we did for medical safety and regulation is different from what we evolved to deal with nuclear deterrence or to establish nuclear deterrence
Mm-hmm.
once we had nukes. What we do with Waymo is probably going to be different from those two. So like I would argue that like hey, this is actually really circumstantial, and just as we do science to figure out what's possible, we do arguments about what's fair or what's right or what's
Right.
just to
Because
figure out
on
how to
wait,
make that possibility safe.
I think you made me realize like
Which is
that. And
why like fuck Richard and his argument because like you're saying we shouldn't push back on that at all. It's like how do we get to safety but arguing about what's right and what's safe?
would you
So
agree that
now
the
now I
act?
have a new argument. I'm gonna try to get Logan on my side that like Richard is doing a bad faith thing here. And thank God he did because we wouldn't have this conversation otherwise.
What you said made me gave me this light bulb that
Yeah,
this conversation isn't useful because they agree.
right.
Everyone here agrees that we want progress without the best of. Everyone's on the same page. We're all happier. The missing thing is this: why are they against self-driving cars? This is the
I
actual difference. Hear me out.
I
It's
I think Richard is dismissing the bad stuff.
well, this is it. This is it. Richard and Logan.
And Logan is saying, "Well, we get bad stuff, but the good outweighs the bad, so we need to push forward."
Right. So Logan is saying like I don't see a reason why this either this is bad or that the
Right.
bad can be avoided. So there's
Right.
nothing else to do here other than push forward.
Exactly.
The missing thing is why are they against it? Is there a way to have the good without the bad? And that's it.
Yeah.
Because
Totally.
if we if because like like where are we here? Like the audience or the person trying to make up their mind here. I don't know. Should if you and I if you were president or governor or whatever, would you ban self-driving cars in your city or not? Should you ban it or not? That's the decision you have to make.
That's the wrong question.
Wait, why not? That's
I think the question is, what should we do about self-driving cars? Right? Like ban it or not, like implies right that it's like, oh well, we should pull the plug on this technology, and I think that's
well. I mean, I'm asking a subset question of your like your question is bigger and mine is like if you can answer your question, you can answer mine, right?
yeah.
Yeah. Like banning it could be one of the things you would do. in your city, or it could be something bigger. Um, but I think this is kind of the point. It's like you read these two people arguing, and you want to make a decision on like what is correct here, what is the truth, what do you think? And but I think this is how we find the answer is what I like this axis a lot.
Yeah, I think the one thing that came out of analyzing these three is that there really is an Overton window here, and Logan is closer to Mr. Gunn, right? Like you can reason with Logan, but you can't reason with Richard.
Yeah, and I think Richard is a bit of like this.
Well,
One of
I
the
don't
rule.
even think he really believes
That's what I
strictly,
was gonna say.
literally what he's saying.
One of the rules is in of the anatomy game is you don't argue with the influencer. You don't argue with the big person because the big person
They have too much
is
on the line. Yeah.
yeah, and they're sort of speaking with this voice of the egregore, and it has to sort of be this zoomed out thing. So there's no.
Yeah.
It actually serves a purpose. It's a different like you don't have to worry about that. All you have to do is pick someone on their side and argue with them.
Don't don't shoot the messenger, don't attack the mouthpiece.
Yeah, he serves a function, and yeah. If you can convince the people that are agree with him, that's the point. And, and the funny thing is that the you can't like Logan and Gunn like work together in this society. Like, um, Logan pushes for progress. Gunn looks at the problems with progress and fixes them, and they're not against each other. They both help progress move.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. They're tugging on each other in a useful way. The thing is, and I think this is like central to our thesis, or at least this is what I bring, is thinking that well, if they could communicate in a better way, it's not that they would put down their points, is that they have legitimately conflicting points. It's just they would express them in ways that communicate the sort of substance of those points better between the two of them.
But I think I want yeah I want my concrete success here would be if you can get to a point where you understand what should we you have a better answer like what should we do about it because right now
Yeah.
it's like these two seemingly smart people disagree and I don't know what to do. A lot of the politicians, people who make decisions are not. I don't want to say dumb, but are like they're just trying to make a decision here. They're like, okay, all these people have like a million reasons for this and this, and like, what the fuck? What do I do? Um, and I think this protocol can get these people to reach a conclusion. And I think the conclusion hinges if they're ever going to agree, it's going to be based on what are the harms here and can they be avoided? That's the actual question. If they both agree that it cannot be avoided and the good outweighs the bad, then there's no argument here, right? So there's like I don't know if you see it that way, but one of my like sort of rules or something was like there's like a you're looking for a piece of information that upon given changes the like what yeah what is there's an A here that the answer hinges on in theory.
I agree.
Like if there's a solution, it would be because there's an answer here that needs to surface.
Yeah. So going back to Logan, right? He says if we didn't have nuclear physics, we'd be stalled. We wouldn't have any of this stuff.
Right.
So I'm curious after everything we said, right? Like, where would you land now? Like, do you
I
want
I
to?
I, I think it's this like um I agree. I'm with you. I don't think we
Yeah,
should stop progress because it has like a valley or like it leads to some bad things, and then
yeah.
just actually stop there, and then Logan will be like, wait, what is your disagreement then?
Okay, so you would give him the handshake
Yeah.
and let him then close some of the gap, or at least kind of lean over and be like, okay, and
Yeah. That's I sort of need to reaffirm him that because otherwise every single you see what's happening. Every single post by Gunn is going to be read as
yeah,
arguing that point that stop progress, stop like sometimes you should stop progress, and he's like, I'm never going to concede to that because it doesn't make any sense.
right, right. And that's what I've noticed about a lot of things I've been reading recently is like people just sort of latch onto their interpretation
Yep.
of what somebody's saying, and then they'll just dig their heels in at times if the other person comes back and pushes. I shared one last night. I did some analysis on this I really enjoyed, and this guy was like, I would say kind of misreading or projecting a little bit onto this woman's point about lingerie, and she came back in and she affirmed him. Did you see that
Hmm.
one? She
No, so where
affirmed
did he
him
put
like,
it?
yes, you're right, and I'm not saying that. I think I posted in the good faith. I was
It
like,
was Zach
I
one.
may build a tool for this or something. Zach did the thing. No. Uh, I do appreciate Thomas's substantive engagement. If you click on that one, I think it quotes Thomas's tweet. So I loved this example because she did the thing. And he even did the thing. It's like he came in and you can read it. So she's like, men who dislike lingerie unsettle
Yeah.
me. Lingerie is, intimate thing between men and women, whatever. And he's like, wait, so you're saying you should be able to dictate what I like and you're not even
Hmm.
caring about what I think? I'm like,
What he
dude, who
likes is
hurt you?
important.
And she then responds and she's like, no. Of course I would take into account what he likes. The point isn't that about, me projecting what I want. The point is this is a thing between them. Did he reply to that?
No sound.
Okay, not yet. Yeah, so I love what she did because it's like she affirmed him, like she recognized what he was saying, and she could sort of see what her point was, and she affirmed that, like, hey, I'm not coming after your point at all. You're correct, and I'm saying this other thing.
Yep. Which is again, it's such a simple.
Well, it's hard because if you look at the way that he responded, it's what are you wearing it for? You were the guy. For you, who freaking cares? Like he's like getting really worked up about this. And I think whatever was going through her mind, I think it's a win that she didn't get
Right.
overwhelmed by all that and
But
feel the
remember
need to
that
respond.
this is one of the four rules. This was like the detach from their frame, or that where I put the ghost emoji, where it was like,
Ghost
because
their
it's
frame. Yeah.
because they're fighting a specific interpretation, and you feel attacked, and but you can just recognize it's not about you. They're fighting something else. They're like,
Yeah,
I
you
really
do
think
the Neo thing where you kind of duck and you're like,
yeah.
whoa, the
I think
punch.
this is why I like to rewrite them because it's like he's
Yeah.
not responding to this. He's responding to
Uh,
something else.
yeah. He's
And
taking
you
this and using it as inspiration for the way he
I
sees.
actually, no, I go even further. Like he literally did not read this. Like what he read, what went into his brain when it's like the duck rabbit, optical illusion.
Yeah. But
Like he,
when you look at her original tweet, she says it's troubling when a man can only fantasize about women who are
but
caught off guard and
it
disheveled.
doesn't.
That itself is a straw man that then triggers his straw man.
Oh, I see.
Like when I'm not sure what he felt, but it could be that when he reads that, he feels attacked. Like that's not how I feel. What about women who
Right.
expect this thing? So like the way that we, which technically, her doing that is really good for engagement. like
But
like
again, I mean,
how do you get
I
men to respond in droves? You say something that feels like it's attacking, some archetype of a man, right? Some behavior that's
I
either
mean, I think it starts with this. Yeah, this is really it. Again, the rest of it was sort of informed by.
yeah.
Um, but um, but yeah, I
You know
think
what they
yeah.
say? Have you heard that like women can't generalize? It's like you like some people have made this argument. It's like, oh, you tell women that like on average such and such thing. She's like, well, I know this
Hmm.
confounding example. This is an example of like men overly generalizing. It's
Hmm.
like she says it's troubling when a man does this. Like this specific thing is troubling, and men are like, not all men. And it's like, wait, you're over generalizing, bud.
Right,
You have the
right.
exact opposite problem.
That's funny. I mean that kind of takes us to like I still think there's these distinct modes of cognition that are, you want
Gonna nail
both
it down
things.
eventually.
Yeah, it's hard to. I think you switch between them, um,
Yeah.
but they each have their failure modes. Okay,
Okay. So you would
to wrap up
handshake
here.
and say, "Yes, I agree. I definitely want to live in a post-nuclear society," or that, "Yes, I agree that that would be hard to separate."
Or like very, yeah, very simple. Like I'm like I wouldn't stop nuclear physics. I wouldn't stop developing that.
Yeah.
And Logan would say, "Wait, I thought you were saying we should stop progress because it's bad."
Yeah.
And I would say, "No, I just want all I want is the good without the bad if possible. Otherwise, we just have to make the trade-off."
Mm.
Logan would be like, "Oh my God, that's what I've been saying."
Yeah.
And then,
And
okay,
then
you see, and then we would actually talk about the issue, which is like, what should we do about this? Does the good
yeah.
outweigh the bad, and there's nothing to do about it other than just tell people to deal with it?
No.
Why are people even against it?
Right, right.
Like, if it's so good, why are they against it? Is it because they're
That would
dumb?
have been a great question to to ask in a quote tweet of Richards. In fact, a poll, right? You could do some poll artistry here. It's Defender's version of graffiti. Okay, and do you have an idea of like what you could reply to Gunn? Would you jump in on the one where he says, "Would you get rid of nuclear warheads? Would you try to save it after I'll keep alive that hope sometime." That one feels kind of sad because it's like, ironically, he's sort of retreating into himself at that point.
Right.
So it's like he'd be harder to reach
No,
from
I
that
know,
context.
this is why I think you should tackle Logan first.
Yeah,
Say, and then when Gunn sees that Logan agrees with him, he'd be like, "Oh, he's rekindled my faith, and now he'll try again."
right. So, do you want to do it? Do you want to run an experiment?
We could. It's always I never know like because it's been I guess it was only yesterday.
Yeah, I think it's
Uh,
fair game. This is on the open internet. The question is like, does it feel like something that
because
you actually want to jump in on? Because like if you're just doing it for the sake of experiment, it's like eh. But if it feels like you can genuinely connect with the material, then I think
I
it's worth
sort
a
of need to
comment.
like finish that because I guess there's more here. And see, this is from an hour ago, so it's still
Oh
going.
damn! Oh, they're
Oh,
going.
oh,
Oh,
going.
okay. What do they say?
Because they actually made progress here. Because
Is it
he's like
correct
we do
interpret?
ban
Oh,
something.
oh, oh! Wait, he got a. Okay, what is that? What was the correct interpretation? Holy
Oh,
shit!
well, this is from Zach. Yeah.
I think the implied claim is that nuclear physics and a bomb are a package deal,
Like
and
again,
Logan likes that. Yeah,
yeah,
so Zach did the thing.
because
Oh, and yeah, yeah.
because you notice that because again Logan is like, well, um, it, I'm not saying we should have bad things. If you can avoid the bad things, we should avoid them. But if you can't, then you
We
should
still
make the
need to
trade off.
trudge ahead. Yeah.
So that's it. And so okay. So then off of that, um, Gunn saying the right thing, which is like, why can't we just have
There he
AI and
goes.
self
Yeah.
driving without it? Um,
Right.
Yeah, without the bad stuff. And then I don't know if Logan responds. Okay. Yeah, yeah. So he's kind of building this up, and then what does he say here?
Okay. Okay. But the
See, this is
assertion.
exactly it. See, society-wide veto of technology. See, that's it. And like nobody in
There he
this thread
goes.
wants this.
Yeah. Do you agree or disagree with that assertion?
This is where he's like, I think Gunn is an
Right.
idiot
Well,
because
yeah, and he
he's
says it. He says it clearly. It's technological advancements almost always turn out for the better. So that's his sort of intuitive claim. Political question
they're
from
getting to
public
the heart of
knowledge.
the question. This is actually exactly
Great.
it.
They did it. They
See,
didn't read us.
I would still analyze this. I mean, I
Yeah.
don't know. We'll see where it goes. But
Yeah. Yeah.
like the we made a successful prediction here, I would say, and we can actually invite the audience to do that to say like, hey, do you think these guys get to a conclusion? And if so, what is it? And if you think through this, there is a correct conclusion.
I
Then you could
think
get
I
to it
think Zach was
without a set.
a goat here. Yeah, because
No, if you
he
did
turned
your
it around.
if you did your map thing, I think it would show them spiraling
Yeah.
downwards, and then Zach.
Yeah.
Honestly, is that tool like we're in a good place? Because
Yeah. Let me.
I kind of wanna.
I mean, it's not it's not super user friendly, but you can. It's a couple of bookmarklets
I'm
away.
just saying if you like if it's in a good workflow for you or me, we could you kind of
Yeah.
use this like a cover image almost.
Yeah.
Because remember I said you find the patterns in a grid of these.
Yeah. Here we go. This is correct interpretation of my position. Mr. Gunn then goes on.
Mr. Gunn's
Logan
doing
jumps in.
bad here because he won't seed anything but he's because he's already
Yeah.
feels that it's already been combative.
Yeah.
He should have just said yes, I agree that we shouldn't have society-wide veto on technology, and then Logan be like, okay, great, but now we can talk.
Right.
I mean, I can try that right now.
Sure. Let's see if I can find.
Okay, this is basically it.
Let's see, what did you say?
I said, I think everyone agrees with this. Society-wide veto new technology would be bad. What we want is maximum good, progress, and minimize any bad if possible.
Yeah.
And Why are people against self-driving cars? Is there a way we can have the good without the bad? That's it. And I think I mean, they're both, I think, gonna have to concede that they don't know, because they were arguing about this
Wait,
in
did
like
you
the
put a
abstract.
poll in your reply? What
Oh
was
yeah,
that?
oh yeah. Sometimes I like to do that because tweets don't have thumbs up, thumbs down.
Yeah. Oh, that's genius. It's genius actually because I was about to say like, oh, you should quote tweet it, but I actually like that it's like, no, this is only for the people reading this thread.
Yes,
We're
yes.
not
I don't
trying to get a
care.
bunch of
Some
randos who don't have the context or the investment
Sometimes
to
it's
weigh
like
in on
one
it.
vote, and I'm like, okay, good, you gave me the yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know
Cool.
if you've seen. I sometimes I do a lot of polls where I don't check the responses, and the reason is because I add the poll as a rhetorical device. Because when I add the poll, your brain reads the
This,
tweet differently.
yeah. This poll will
'Cause
self-destruct.
yeah, it doesn't actually matter what it does. It's just that you have to make a choice, and now yeah,
Right.
uh, it's kind of
I'm
beautiful.
trying to run the classifier. I screwed things up. I deleted all of my ChatGPT history and unsubscribed, and so the links that I have don't work anymore.
I don't know. I gotta. I think I'm gonna call it here. Pretty tired.
Sounds good.
But we did a thing. This is the case study,
I'm
and
I'm really interested in.
what
Yeah, I'm
happens
gonna vote
here?
in the poll. Yeah.
um, just to kind of like zoom out here, like the goal is each case study sort of like has one or more principles,
Mm-hmm.
and so the principles either like get written down somewhere named, linked, or if they already exist, then you just sort of add this to it. Um, and here, yeah, I mean the Zach entry point is the actually what is the this the most of them are just very basic, like just the basic. This is why I think like
Yeah.
I think version one of the book is just going to be these like super basic rules, because 90% of the arguments fall into the same patterns, and we can fix 90% of all internet arguments with like again these like basic rules. But then it'll get more interesting as we can go further as people adopt it.
I damn, I did it, but it didn't quite come out perfect. So I'm having it rerun it. But you can see kind of where people land, right? So Logan is up here.
I do wish
Permissionless
it.
innovation, elite
How
driven.
hard would it be, do you think, to put like either PFP or make it consistent? Because I think seeing the
The people, yeah.
people would make it much more
Yeah,
readable.
I have the other one, um, or if I use the postcard, but the thing about the postcard is it doesn't grab which ones are replies to which ones.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's
So
definitely very doable.
I'll
Wait,
fine tune it.
go back to the this one. See.
Let's see if this works. There we go. Okay, so we've got Logan and then Mr. Gunn, and he's over here. Democratic regulation. Is this receptive bridge building? Tech governance, abstraction, philosophical
Wait, and
principles.
again, how are the axes picked? Did you tell it, or did you just
It
pick an
just came
axis?
up with its own ideas. Tribal,
Do you
hostile over here.
do you
Receptive
think
or open.
do you think fixing them, making them fixed, would be good for these diagrams? Just so that I
It could be.
can
It could be.
compare, because it's like
I
I
like
kind of
this
want
where like the they're very clearly on opposite sides of this aisle,
to.
right? But
I
Logan
see.
walks him, or Mr. Gunn walks him over towards receptive and bridge building a little bit, right? So it's like he starts over here, Logan's over here, or Mr. Gunn's over here, and then he pulls back, and he he gets really upset, and then Zach, in with the wind,
Yes.
you know,
See,
yanks
that's it.
really hard over in this direction,
I love these. That's
and then Logan's like,
can
"Yes,
we
okay," right? Which
I
literally walks. If you look at Logan's trajectory, right, he's literally walked over in
this
that
is
direction by
I
it.
think if we okay, can you hear me out? I do think this can be one of the biggest things we've done, and it doesn't really need that much work. There's a
Yeah.
10-minute or even a 5-minute clip of us sort of narrating this like a football match with
Yeah.
this tool, and then switching to the analysis, and then linking to the write up. And then the video is like easy to consume. The write up is detailed.
Yeah. And
And
I love these, right? Like assertive techno optimists. We could have Claude or GPT write these positions innovation freedom against democratic veto, right? And then sharp counterexample invoking existential risk. Test the all tech is net positive premise with the hardest edge case. Right? It's like these are good. Like these are
yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's good commentary on third party mediation. Steelman's both positions by making implicit disagreement explicit. Generous interpretation that could restart productive dialogue, which it
Yeah, it
does.
does. It
Brief
does. It works.
confirmation.
See, this is such a good
Reframing
case on
attempt.
it. I mean, I might actually write this, and I don't know. Your thing isn't shareable, right? Like I can't.
I can send the JSON to you and you can use this URL. But yeah, it's not hosted.
I mean, it's fine if we just use
All
this
I need is
in-house.
like 10 more gentle encouragements from you and I will host it somewhere. Like we're
Uh, I,
this
d-
close.
I think making a repo that's an umbrella, and then
Well, I think it's broken now, but I do have the repo of discourse maps and I did put like here's the instructions of how you can use it. In fact, you can use this locally. If you download and clone this, you can paste stuff
because
into the chat.
then I think we can do little things like just change it to be PFPs, and I can make a PR. I can start
Yeah.
to.
Yeah, the PFP flow, and this was what was annoying, is you could probably load them since you have a server when you're running it locally. But if you're running it here,
Mhm.
it
Oh yeah,
can't
Claude won't let you.
request
No, I
them.
know. Yeah,
And so I
this is the
modified
yeah
PostScope to grab
the URL.
base 64 encoded, the
Oh,
data
that's funny.
URLs.
That's a
And
lot.
it's
Yeah.
it's gross, but it works. So I would do something differently if I were going to build it into this. But I sat on this because it's like, oh, I want to do so
Well,
much, and I'm
can
so unmotivated to do all this extra work to make it like
because you can
productionized.
do. You, sorry, you can deploy it on the GitHub pages.
Yeah, but it still needs a server
Why? For
to run inference. You need a server. Like this doesn't
well,
work without inference.
no, technically,
You think people
even
are
though
going to
yeah,
paste in their key?
well, OpenAI complains about that, but I mean, actually, it's fine.
But
Um,
also, like, you have to run it from a server because it doesn't allow cores. I don't know if Open Router
no,
does.
they actually do. You just have to tell it to not worry about it.
I feel like,
But it doesn't.
don't worry about
It
it.
does.
It's
It also
fine.
doesn't really matter. Like we can have like one of my goals is to have like a shared Ori server that
Hmm.
just you can just add a route that do a specific thing. I
Yeah,
mean, Cloudflare, it's almost like doing our own serverless thing.
yeah.
Uh, there's lots of ways to. I want to get into a habit of like where we want to ship things, we have a workflow to do it, and we're not paying a lot of money for it.
Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, if you still see value in this, I think it's useful. Well, okay. Let's chat about it some other time because it's like I think it's meaningful. Is it useful? I don't know.
I
It's useful
think
in the sense that like it helps to illustrate what's going on. It
that's
doesn't
what I
help
mean.
you to
Actually,
make
I
better
think
decisions in the moment.
as a marketing thing,
Yeah.
when we start every day, we start with a case study. We're like, what does this one look like? It's like the DNA. Is it well,
Yeah.
or
Let's do the
it's
play
like
by
literally
play.
like it's like a zoomed out view. It's like, well, you see this like vortex, and then there's a move here that worked. We're gonna look at that, and so
Mm.
it's like a mini map for the
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, in that case, yeah. I mean, we can use the
It can be
mm,
local. It doesn't. Yeah.
so I'm imagining a version. So this could work where we have a version where you run it locally and then you can publish it to GitHub. So the output gets published on the
Oh
GitHub
yeah.
page.
Yep.
And so you can browse through a list of what somebody's made. But if you actually want to run it yourself, you've got to fork it and
I
download
think
it
that's
or
great.
whatever.
That's a good
I like that. That works for us.
and
And
yeah.
enterprising public. Cool.
All right.
All
Great.
right. Well, thank
Good
you.
work.
This has been a beast of a show. I really like the ground we covered. So you have a good
Awesome.
afternoon. I'll see you soon.